تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیزرایز.
And we'll put them in their place. I get humbled all the time. Yeah, sure, I accomplished a fair amount at my age, and I understand a lot of people look up to me, but that's why I always put myself in very difficult situations where I know life is going to humble me and I'm going to be put in my place, as it should be. So as long as you do that, don't listen to this whole self-help world. Have an ego. It's a good thing. The sixth secret millionaire trait is that they're always thinking what could go wrong. And once again, as I said, it's very different to the whole self-help world because they're always thinking positive affirmation, blah, blah, this, that. No. One of the biggest reasons that I got to where I am in life is because I do a lot of visualization before bed. But what I visualize, for example, growing up, I never visualized buying a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce or buying my mom a $4 million house in cash. I never visualized those things because I knew that if I do the right actions, those things are going to come. And those things have come. I've done all those things. Instead, I visualized the actions, but I focused on it being difficult, what I would do when things got difficult, and me getting past that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you really struggle to wake up in the morning. You visualize getting up when the alarm goes off in the morning, but it's difficult. It's not easy. You prepare yourself for it to be difficult. You prepare yourself to wake up and just be like wanting to hit the snooze button, and you have every reason not to get out of bed, and you fight with your demons and you still get out of bed. You know why? Because when you wake up in the morning, you only have one chance per day and you might fail. So you're gonna have to wait until the next day to do it. But in your mind, which by the way, can't conceive between reality and imagination, that's why visualization, especially before bed, is such a powerful tool. In your mind, you can practice waking up 15 times in your imagination before you wake up the next morning. And you can imagine it being difficult and you trying to convince yourself to stay in bed, but still getting past it. So that, for example, is an exercise in always thinking what could go wrong. So that way you can prepare for things. So even to this day, I'm always thinking what could go wrong. I'm always looking at all of my businesses or my structures or this, that, and I'm always thinking, what could go wrong? I'm thinking, hey, maybe if this partner in this business tries to fuck me over, what do I do in that situation? And it's not negative thinking. It's just preparation. It's always preparing yourself. And this is something that so few people out there talk about. But I can tell you honestly, if you want to get into the big leagues, these people, and I can definitely tell you that I do it, we're always thinking what could go wrong. We're always thinking 7 steps ahead. And you know what? In an ideal world, nothing goes wrong. And that's great, but at least you've planned these things through. And not only that, it gets your mind thinking. It gets your mind thinking in a different perspective, and it forces you to become a problem solver. So if you want to become a millionaire, you always need to think, what could go wrong? And start formulating solutions for problems that may not even arise yet. Now, the last secret millionaire trait is that they understand achieving success is relatively easy. Staying there and continuing success is extremely hard. And as I said, looking around, I always see people go, oh, I'm going to become successful, blah, blah, this, that. For me, because I've been documenting every step of the journey since I was 15 years old on YouTube. I started my first business when I was 14. But because I've documented every step of the journey and I've kind of outlined exactly what I was going to do before I did it, I guess it's easy enough for me to say, but I genuinely believe if you stick to something long enough, you will become successful. So for me, that was never really what I focused on. Instead, what I focused on, or my mind was really consumed by, was how do we stay there? Because as I said, if you manage to make $1 million, I mean, that's cool, congratulations, but I mean, it's really not that special. If you manage to do it over and over and over and have continued success in an industry, or maybe pivot to another industry and flourish in that industry, that is really what the legends are made of. So don't think that, oh, I'm going to build up my business or build up my career and make a lot of money and then that's it. I can't tell you how many people I've seen get to that position and then they kick up their feet, they get comfortable. And by the way, I know in this video I've talked about, hey, it's good to have an ego and you need to think that you're special and this, that. Those things aren't bad things. Let me tell you what's truly egotistical. Getting to a position in life and thinking that, okay, I'm good now. That is truly egotistical. You need to understand that once you get to where you want to get to in life, you've just started. Now you got to stay there, and that is the real difficulty. So ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely think you may want to watch this video again. Save it to your watch later and come back to this video in a month. Come back to it in 6 months. Come back to it in a year. Because probably the more successful you get, you'll start to realize how true these traits are that I gave you, these 7 traits that I just gave you. And you also start to realize how different it is from all of the other self-help BS that's out there. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was helpful to you. I say all of this genuinely with love. As I said, I know I'm very intense sometimes, but that's just because I had to figure out all this shit on my own. I had no one to teach me this. And apart from that, as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, rooting.
تهیه و تنظیم در استودیو بیزرایز.